Stephanie.
I'm Kelly.
Amy.
Tim.
Emily.
And here are my note cards. In 2006, I was 23. I had dropped out of college twice. I had no clothes, no job, no friends, and my family would not speak to me. I'd managed to hold on to my car, but I had no insurance, and for gas, I would collect change wherever I could find it. I needed help, and it was hopeless, and I felt very hopeless. I had seen doctors, psychiatrists, therapists, and religious leaders, and nothing seemed to help. I was one of the many Americans who was addicted to opiates. In Painkillers, Heroin, and the Road to Sanity, Joni Gamil states that over 2 million people reported dependence or abuse of opiates in 2011. Today we will take a look at how opiates came to be, the start of the prescription opiate epidemic, and how opiate addiction is treated in the United States. Opiates are a drug with morphine-like effects derived from the opium plant. From prescription painkillers by Marvin Cebola with Mark Rose, we will begin by taking a look at how opiates were created and why. The first 2 opiates that were created were heroin and morphine. Morphine was created in 1803 by Frederick Wilhelm Adam Soterner and is the standard by which all other pain medications are measured. In 1817, morphine was presented to the scientific community, and by the mid-1820s was widely accepted and available. The addictiveness of morphine was first noted in 1818 by the American Dispensatory. Heroin was then created in 1874. It was created while scientists were trying to filter out the addictiveness properties of morphine and was originally used as a cough suppressant. Heroin is 3 times more potent than morphine with a more rapid onset. In 1898, the Bayer Company introduced heroin to the commercial market in the U.S. and Europe. It was widely accepted as a wonder drug and readily available everywhere. As early as 1902, the American Medical Association warned of the dangers and the addictiveness of heroin, but the Bayer Company did not halt production of it until 1913. Next, we will review the events that kick-started the prescription opiate epidemic in the United States. In Cepola's book, he states the misinformation and pain management movement pushed chronic pain treatment using opiates without the fear of addiction, leaving the door open for a new opiate that was introduced in America called Oxycontin. From 1980 to 2000, there was a perfect storm of decisions that created a downward spiral for prescription opiate addiction in the United States. In 1986, the World Health Organization stated that cancer pain could be relieved in most patients, if not all patients, and encouraged prescriptions. Experts then stated that cancer patients did not feel the same euphoria as addicts when taking opiates, so that it was safe to use for chronic pain. The drug companies then jumped at this idea and promoted opiates through their sales department to the medical communities. But medical professionals did not realize that there had been no study done for pain patients for long-term opiate use for an extended period of time. In 1995, the American Pain Society recommended treatment of pain as the 5th vital sign to ensure common practice through the medical field. In 2000, Congress then declared that it would be the decade of pain control and research. After that, in 2001, the Joint Committee on Accreditation of Healthcare Organization implemented pain standards for hospital accreditations. And then in 2015, there was an estimated 6.5 million people addicted to prescription drugs, as stated in the Prescription Drug Abuse by Darla Greer. During all of this, in 1995, the FDA approved Oxycontin, a highly potent, long-acting opiate that allowed patients with chronic pain to resume normal life. As stated in Seppala's book, Oxycontin, there was no social stigma on it as there was for morphine, so people were not reserved about taking it. When doctors prescribed it, they accepted it and took it. And along with that, the FDA thought that because Oxycontin had a time release, that it couldn't be abused. But this was quickly, discovered that you could crush the pill and destroy the time release, therefore making it very easy to be abused. As you can see in this chart, the number of Oxycontin prescriptions in the first 7 years skyrocketed. Next, within the first 4 years of Oxycontin sales, they had already reached over $1 billion. And a lot of this was because medical professionals lacked the training and the skill necessary to responsibly prescribe this medication. Finally, we will look at the current treatment options for opiate addiction in the U.S. As of today, there is no clear line of how to treat opiate addiction, but many ideas on how to best handle this epidemic. The National Institute on Drug Abuse states that drug replacement therapies are very popular for addicts because it stops them from committing crimes and allows them to resume what is considered to be a normal life. Methadone is one of these drugs. It's a long-acting synthetic opiate medication that reduces cravings and blocks the effects of illicit opiates. Buprenorphine is another synthetic opiate medication that will reduce or eliminate withdrawal symptoms that are commonly associated with dependence on opiates and has a very low risk of overdose. In Seppala's book, it is also stated that 12-step programs or self-help groups have been very effective in helping some addicts achieve long-term and maintain long-term recovery. The 12-step model is that there is acceptance of addiction as a chronic and progressive disease that cannot be cured, but through abstinence can be arrested. In this graph, it shows that members of a group called Narcotics Anonymous, also known as NA, have been able to achieve many drug-free years. And as of 2014, the average drug-free years by members of NA was 11.07 years. Today, we've reviewed opiate addiction crisis in America by looking at the history, the prescription opiate epidemic, and how opiate addiction is currently being treated in the United States. Addicts aren't just stereotypical homeless men or criminals. Some are grandmothers and mothers, they are doctors and lawyers, they are executives and secretaries, they are teachers and students. Opiate addiction has a long history in the United States, and the problem continues to grow. These people are sick and suffering and have a disease that needs to be treated just like any other disease would be treated in the United States. As for me, today I'm a mother, a daughter, a friend, and a fiance. I have a career that I love. I am working on finishing my associate's degree. I own a home and a car that both have insurance. I even have a savings account. Today, I'm in recovery from my disease, and I'm more than just an opiate addict. Thank you.